Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Wiccan journals, but before we do, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. And if you want to do just that, craft your Wiccan path and connect to nature, spirit and magic, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. And if you want a copy of this book, it's on Amazon in paperback or Kindle, and the link is in the description field below this video. A Wiccan journal, for me anyway, personally, is different to a Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows, and I've done a video about the Book of Shadows, I'll try to remember to put the link in the description field after I do this video. It is really more for your spells, for your rites, for your lists of correspondences, the planets, the herbs, the crystals, anything that is related to the practice of magic and the practice of witchcraft that you're using as a reference tool. So you'll go to your Book of Shadows quite frequently to add things, but also to reference things. So if you're doing a spell, you'll put your spells in there. You may also reference your Book of Shadows to look for different herbs and gemstones and planetary aspects that will help you with your spell work and even your rituals as well. So it's very much a reference book that you create based on your own personal practice of magic. You may also include references to other people's spells and put those in your Book of Shadows as well, and any rites or anything, prayers, chants, mantras, all of that sort of stuff goes in the Book of Shadows. Now, some people also like to include in their Book of Shadows the results that they get from their spell work or any experiences that they may have had from doing rituals. That's fine to do that. It's really up to you what you do with your Book of Shadows. Personally, I like to put the personal experiences into a separate book, which is more of a journal. And my reason for doing this is because I do see my Book of Shadows as being more of a reference guide to help me do things in my spell work, whereas the journal is more about the personal experience of life itself and magic and all of that. So for me, they're two separate things. So if you are thinking of separating your Book of Shadows from a personal journal, I'm just going to list a few different things that you can put in your journal. So the first one is your personal experiences of magic and what sort of results you may have got from your magic. You may want to reference a spell or reference a page from your Book of Shadows. To talk about maybe what went right, what didn't go right, what you could do better. So that way then you're learning more about your own magical process and learning more about yourself as well. You can put your personal experiences of life, of course, in your journal, because magic is life, spirituality is life. Everything that happens to you in your life, you can connect to your magical path or your spiritual path. So don't think that there's a compartment for magic or a compartment for witchcraft or Wicca over here, and then life or other things that happen to you over here. We're trying to connect. That's the whole point of Mystery Witch School, is to help you feel connected. So it's connecting to life and bringing the two together. So don't think that they're separate things, because they're really not. Your life experiences, your daily interactions with people, with institutions and whatever, is a part of your growth in your knowledge of yourself. It's a part of your endeavor to create your life and express yourself in the world. So don't think that they should be broken up into different compartments, because they actually do, they do connect. Another thing that you can put in your journal is your shadow work. And some people may even want to do a separate journal for shadow work, because it can be more, the methodologies and that in shadow work and the processes may make it a very, very big section of your journal. But you can put them in your journal as well. I combine my shadow work with all my other journal stuff, so I don't separate them. So your shadow work is going to have your thoughts, your feelings, how you reacted to certain experiences, what your beliefs are, what you're telling yourself, that's what your thoughts are when you're doing your self-talk. If you've just had an altercation with somebody, you may want to write down what you're thinking, and that will just help you gain more knowledge about yourself and more knowledge about the situation, and where the way that you're feeling from the interaction may also tell you a lot about your beliefs about yourself that are making it more difficult for you in relation to how you reacted, or making it more difficult for you in that you're giving yourself an emotionally hard time when really maybe that's not necessary. So shadow work's really brilliant for just helping you be able to cope with life and navigate your way through life. Other things you might want to put in your journal, particularly if you're very creative in the more visual art sense, is artwork and any visions or anything that you may get from your meditations. So this is where you'll record anything that you've received from a guided meditation or a pathworking or a shamanic journey, and that can be in any form. It can be drawings, it can be in words, it can be however you want to express it, but it's really important to capture those moments when you may have had a breakthrough in a meditation, or you may have had a download or something. And in your journal, just everyday things, like you may be having a shower and then you will get like this, you'll channel some brilliant solution to a problem, or you'll come up with a spell. It's often when we're doing other things that the results of our meditations and the results of the path workings actually come through. So when you're doing a path working, you may get nothing. You may meet the being that you meet in the path working. It may be a god or a goddess or an animal spirit, and maybe you don't get much, but a few days later you're washing the dishes and suddenly something comes to you. So write that down in your journal. Any collections that you are doing, so that can be collections of quotes, it can be collections of affirmations that you may want to use later in spells. Anything that you can collect that can be put into a journal that is related to your life path, your life journey, and your spiritual path can go into your journal. Your tarot, daily tarot or oracle card readings or rune readings, whatever methods of divination you might want to use. If you are learning the tarot or oracle cards or the runes, you may want to pull a daily rune so that helps you learn the rune and also to apply it to the energy of the day. So put that in your journal. Other people like to put in the moon cycles as well. So as the moon's going through different houses and different constellations, a lot of people like to put what house is the moon in today in my chart, if you're familiar with your own natal chart, or what sign is the moon in today, because the moon moves through the astrological signs every couple of days, and you might want to get more in tune with your emotional self, because the moon is about your emotions and your feeling, and tune into the energies of the moon. Do you find yourself that when the moon is in Taurus, you're a little bit more practical and a little bit more grounded, whereas when the moon is in Pisces, you're finding your intuition is a lot stronger, and you're feeling a lot more sort of psychic and more in that more fluid sort of state. So that's another way that you can learn about yourself and also connect with the energies of the moon. Last night, we celebrated the full moon in the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy, and the moon void, of course, came up. And we were talking about that, of course, in relation to astrology, and particularly what came up was about the moon being void of course, is when the moon is not making an aspect, or it's finished making its aspects before it changes signs. And that's a time of emotional quiet, energetic quiet, and it's a really great time to just be able to relax and spend that time being in a place of like a void sort of experience. And so you can do that with your journal too. You might want to journal where the moon is, and then when you notice that the moon is void of course, how does that affect you emotionally? How do you feel during that time? Is it kind of an emotional time out? Is it a time of being able to maybe ground a bit more? What do you feel when the moon is in void of course? So that's another thing you can put in your journal. It's really A journal's really anything and everything that is to do with your learning of the craft and with your learning of yourself. This is where the two connect. So you can put pretty much anything, but they're just some ideas of what you can put in your journal. And it's all about connection. How best do you connect? What helps you connect to you? What helps you connect to nature? What helps you connect to spirit? Because that's the whole point of doing it. If you're interested in learning Wicca with me and joining the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy, I do have a $90 discount special on until the 3rd of January 2022. So do check that out now if you've been planning on really getting into your Wiccan path or witchcraft path and you're wanting to really bring that as a part of your life and start connecting to your spirituality, to something bigger than yourself, then have a look at Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. The link is in the description field below and the discount is going on until the 3rd of January. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.